Good morning. Ira Epstein with your Morning Flash Update, and this update is for Monday, and we're now at the 18th of September, 2023, and we're at 8:10 a.m. Central Time. So over the weekend, no progress being made in the UAW auto strike. If anything, things are getting worse. Now we're starting to hear some of the auto manufacturers, if these plants that are being struck, some of the stampings and other things that come out of them are needed at other plants, maybe other workers have to be let go. I was listening to, just minutes ago, the head of the UAW. He wants 40% pay increase. He wants pension plans, new benefits, 32-hour work week. None of that's realistic. So he will argue and argue, and the others will stand back, and that's not good. Then we have the beginning of talks, not good, by the way, on the budget deficit. And the far-right elements are pushing McCarthy to do certain things, which he'll do. He has no choice. Things will come up for a vote this week. They say Thursday. That won't go anywhere from everything I'm reading. And the question is, what do? This is going to center on, in order to get 30 days of funding, forget a deal. That isn't even on the table. The appropriation bills haven't even been voted on yet in the Senate and other areas. So therefore, the best we can hope for is a 30-day period to come about where we're able to fund certain parts of the government, not fund other things, and negotiations. For that, there's going to have to be some movement on this crazy immigration problem we have at the border. Something has to be done. Has anybody noticed Kamala Harris, who was given the task of the border, is never there? Do you disagree with me? I mean, that was what the president said. I remember when he got in office. He said, yes, that's her task. She will control it. Well, she's a heartbeat away from President Biden, right? Older man. And this is what she's doing. I think that's the issue that you've got, that the frustration of the big cities, democratic cities, I live in one in Chicago, the frustration here is over the top. New York, over the top. With all the immigration, the cost of it, what do? The people aren't being allowed to work. They want to work. There's just so many darn issues. All right. So when we take a look at the stock market sitting, so the marketplace is now focusing on this coming Wednesday's FOMC meeting. So what's going to be the real part that the market looks at? First, will there be a 25 basis point hike this meeting, or will the dot plot say there's still one likely before the end of the year, because we do get the dot plots? And what do the dot plots say about 2024 for interest rate cuts, if that's going to come? With the economy as strong as it is, with the 10-year note at 4.34%, I think everybody's ahead of themselves when they're talking these cuts, and I still think they're ahead of themselves when they think that the Fed shouldn't raise rates this 25 basis points right here, right now. That's just my opinion, and I know I'm in the vast minority, but everything I look at doesn't say anything except if you're data dependent, the data's still very strong. Now, there are good things. I got to say this. I heard this morning that the hirings for the temporary hirings for the Christmas season are down and going to be down dramatically. And that is because the consumer's pulling in, not going to be buying as much. The cost of hiring these people, the amount of goods they're going to have out there. This is a wobble in the economy. So that I do pay attention to. You can see bonds and notes that continue to drop in futures, which kicks up the rates. Look at the big rally that you're still getting. You tried to break this morning, by the way, and gasoline came down and boom, right back to the upside. That's almost a 500-point swing. That's rather dramatic. And you can see you're pushing $95 in Brent, $92 in crude. Now, it's going to be time for us to drop the Octobers and move to the next month. So be ready to do that with me. And you're going to be leaving November, Brent, and going to the December very shortly. So as for everything else, well, there's one report today. The report that comes out at 9 o'clock, National Association of Home Builders, and this is the housing index. It's expected unchanged with a 50 reading compared to last month's 50 reading. So this week is all about other things. This week is all about FOMC, Bank of England, Bank of Japan. 3 banks in a row, the trifecta. What are they going to do? The market thinks two sit tight, which is the Fed and the Bank of Japan, while the market is starting to lean to a 25 basis point hike on the Bank of England. But one day it's that they're doing, then the next day they're sitting tight. So those are the things you watch. I'd like you to start your mornings off with me because I cover so much. 40 charts, what's going on around the world, how the markets are looking, how is it affecting the futures markets, how it's going to affect the ETFs, the stock markets, as they start trading. I start this recording at about 5:15 in the morning. It's published for you before 6 a.m. traditionally. 40 charts, I cover daily and weekly. I'm talking to the markets you probably want to look at all through here, specific buy and sell recommendations, long-term and short-term. So we cover all that for you. How do you get this? It's pretty simple. You go to our website, iraepstein.com. When there, go up to the word research. You'll see it. You can move your cursor up here. And if you wanted to subscribe on YouTube, if you're watching this there, look at the blue button, give it a click, and away you go. I think you'll find that for a couple of dollars a month, it's really very small. You get so much information, 22 videos, each about 15 to 18 minutes long, very specific, buy here, sell there, lots of chart analysis. So if you're a chartist, it's probably a must. I'm Ira Epstein. Again, iraepstein.com. Move your cursor up here, the word research. Take care.